You are about to watch a professional opper try to explain the best way to entry in Counter-Strike 2. While this might not be my position, I have been asked over and over and over again to provide my insight on how to be the best entry possible. And today I'm going to cover a lot of good topics with entry pathing, the focus you need to have, communication, all around just good stuff that I've learned from entries I played with. And then also as an opper, shutting down entries, what works against me, what doesn't work. I can provide a lot of good insight that's gotten me all the way up to one of the best players in North America. And I'm just excited to share my information that I've received and pass it on to you guys. So without further ado, hit that subscribe button. Let's go ahead and hop right into that, guys. The first thing we need to understand as an entry is that your job is to be aggressive and to take space. Now, a lot of players understand this. A lot of players know this. I have to say from the beginning, if you are naturally a more aggressive player, this role will fit you the best. Now, when we are entering, our goal is to make it as simple as possible for ourselves. Now, the biggest issue that a lot of entries face is they don't know where they're supposed to be looking. And this is a huge problem because when you're entering, it should be a predetermined thing for the most part, where you're like, I'm running in like this. This is my pathing. I'm going to get really good at it. I'm going to get consistent with it. And unless there's a molly or like flashes I'm dodging or stuff that's going to change that path, it is almost going to look the same every time I do it because I get good at it, right? So on Inferno here, maybe the entry pathing is you are just swinging hard to pool. Maybe that's what you've decided you're going to do and you're going to get over here. Now, is that good? Is that bad? I don't care. But as long as you understand what you want to do, that pathing to pool is great. I was in FPL and they were having an argument where one guy was screaming at another guy because he wanted to path to pool as an entry, but the other guy's team told him he needs to path to front sight. Now, you could argue one of these is better than the other, but at the end of the day, Counter-Strike can be played in a million different ways. And I don't care what your pathing is as an entry, understand it and simplify it. If you are the guy that wants to run front sight and get this info and get this space like this, then do it. The biggest problem entries have, and also why I kind of suck at entering as an opper, is we start thinking, well, what if someone's here or here? Like, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to die to this angle. And we start looking at everything, which in turn is going to make it so that we are ready for nothing. This is a huge problem entries have. Looking here, looking here, looking here. Like, no, stop moving your crosshair around so much. And instead, you know, get ready to react to what's on your screen in front of you. And if you start getting shot from the back, of course, flip around and try to kill them. But your job is to create space. Now, we're going to talk about a lot of other good factors that determine if you're a decent entry or not. But first, I have to give you a message about how to get the best Counter-Strike 2 skins in this game.
Thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Skins Monkey. They are one of the greatest and easiest to use CS2 trading sites out there. You can swap out the skins you do not like for brand new ones that are so much more fresh. Even skins that are trade locked can be secured by adding them to your backpack. The greatest thing about the site is that you can buy skins for so much cheaper with a 35% deposit bonus when you use my code, CoJo. Make sure to check out the freebie section where you can get a free skin just by completing tasks. On top of the bonuses, you also get a $5 bonus when clicking the link in the description.
All right, guys. So that is the most important thing as an entry, is simplifying it and making sure that you are able to just run in and look at one position. So that means if you are in a pug or premier match, you could set yourself up to make this easier. You saw on Banana there where we're smoking spawn off. Of course, the more smokes the better because that makes your entry pathing even easier. On a map like Inferno, one thing we could do is throw a smoke down to block off like pit, and this is a horrible smoke because it landed way too close, but like a smoke that could land here to block off the pit angles so that we could run in and just focus in on sight. Very nice, very effective. It's very good. But whatever you do, just be aggressive. You are there to get up in their face, and your job is to make that space so that your teammates can trade you. Don't be the entry that stops here and goes back and does all these things and, you know, kind of baits. There's no baiting as an entry. You've got to get in there and do it. So also what makes a very extremely solid entry is your ability to ask for stuff, to demand things. When I'm entering in B, before I even go here, I'm going to say, hey guys, can you smoke off backhaul? Can you molly this off? Can you flash over here, right? So then I know in my head that the util that it's supposed to be there, and it's going to give me a way to understand what's about to happen before it actually does. That's our advantage on T side, by the way. Our advantage on T side is we sit here and we can pre-orchestrate everything that we are going to do. Okay, I need you to molly new box. Well, I know when I run in that there should be a molly coming in the site. Now, of course, that's not always going to happen, right? That's not always going to be there. Sometimes we're going to mess up the util. Sometimes the CTs are going to smoke it. But this utility, if I can demand it, if I can almost IGL that, or at least listen to my teammates if they're calming it, I'm going to understand the game a lot better. So that's the most important thing as well. Like I said, also, if you're an entry, you're a space maker. So one important thing you can do is like, dude, like if someone needs to have a Mac 10, honestly, like get yourself a Mac 10, get yourself the worser weapon, because your job again is to create chaos. You should never have bomb as an entry. Your job is to get in there. And if I have a Mac 10, maybe my plan is I'm going to jump up here and go crazy on them, and just throw off their crosshair, because that is so important. By the way, your job as an entry is to throw the enemy, the CT side crosshair off. If you're running into sight with flashes, with utility coming in, and you are stopping and stuttering and doing that, it's easy. They just sit here and farm you. Versus you're up in their face, you know, you're climbing all over these walls. They might come up here and kill you, but in the meantime, while they're killing you up here, well, now your teammates are swinging down there, and the CT's crosshair is up here. Boom, you did your job. That was amazing. Like, that was great stuff, right? Entering can be extremely hard because there's a lot of times you're just gonna run into oppers. You know, so of course, if we can learn entry flashes, that is going to make our life so easy. One way that we can do this on our own is, like, say we come up here, clear this off, we're gonna molly pit. I'm gonna come up here and throw a flash off of this wall, and then just come in here and swing. Or, you know, I'm gonna throw a jump throw flash that's gonna land even deeper and land into sight and blind anybody that's rotating in, scaling, blinding anyone in mini pit. We can throw good utility for ourselves as well, which will make our life a lot easier. I mean, man, you could even do this on B. When your teammates are about to start throwing their util, you're gonna flash above, boom, you're flashing above, and you're just running in. It doesn't even have to be a set lineup. It doesn't have to be set util. That entry flash to kick things off is so extremely valuable. And just communicate with your teammates what you're doing. What are you taking, right? Hey guys, I'm gonna run in and I'm going all the way through backhaul. Well, now your teammates know that you're not stopping and you're gonna keep taking the space and go all the way through here. So it's just very important. At the end of the day too, like, it can be frustrating as an entering in pugs and matchmaking and that stuff, because sometimes you can do a great job and get all the space, but everyone else is just kind of baiting back here. Understand that this is gonna happen. It's matchmaking, it's pugs. People are not gonna actually play off the space you're doing. One thing that I'm gonna give you is some next level advice. This is not good entering. This is very greedy entering and selfish entering. But if you're noticing your teammates are kind of playing like that, with all this utility that's coming in, you could do some crazy sneaky plays, right? Say your teammates are flashing in, we have a spawn smoke coming through here, boom, we're flashing in, we're doing all this stuff. Sometimes I'll actually just make my radar big and I'll lurk through the CT smoke here and see if I can kill anybody rotating in and stuff. So you almost go from being an entry to being a lurk, which is my final point, guys. Sometimes as the entry, that is going to happen. You genuinely will become the lurk. You might run in here and kill like one person. You know, you hear another guy backhaul, you hear people rotating in CT. I might scream to my team, run A, right? And say we have an A lurk already. Well, now he becomes the entry for A site because I've recognized, yo, run A, there's 3 guys. 3 out of the 4 guys are rotating B. There's 2 spawn and 1 backhaul. And, you know, 1 A maximum. And even him, he's probably rotating as well. So being able to dictate that and get your teammates to flip on a dime if needed. Of course, they have to listen to you. Of course, I understand that. So if you're queued with people, this is really important. Is so important because then you could turn into the lurk. You can sit here and distract then on B site. And this happens all the time with high level teams. You sit here, distract, you're trying to fight this guy, pressure him off, you're spamming through CT smoke, you're being loud so that you're selling that fake and they think that it's actually still B. Guys, I'm not the best entry, but I hope that these tips help you out a lot. These are things that I do in my matchmaking games and premier games when I don't really feel like opping, and I don't really just want to point and click. I want to run in and get dirty. So demand util from your teammates, understand what util you want to throw, make your life very simple with your crosshair. Don't be dragging it all over the place. Literally clear the big angles, don't clear the small angles. Run in here and do your thing to create space. Can't be scared as an entry, and you also can't be scared to join my Discord community where I'm going to give you personal help, advice, and as always, guys, if you want personal coaching, fill out the form below. In the meantime, check out my second channel, CoJoMo, where I am always helping players and teaching them what they need to do in order to grow and shine in this scene. Appreciate all of you guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out. Peace out.